be killed by them. So that is the second theme. This life is not all in all. The next life exists. The third theme of Bhagavad Gita is this world is not all in all. As I was telling, the background which you are seeing, the ecological beauty of this globe. So we may try our best to keep this globe as much as ecological as possible. But one fine day it is going to deteriorate. We can see our own body. This body can be compared to a universe. Like one of my senior mentor, Chetan Chandru, says, this universe is a university, and our body can be compared to the universe, our surroundings can be compared to the universe, and the whole globe can be compared to the universe, and the universe itself is a big universe. But universe is an university. So we can learn from a small atom to the mega universe, from the micro world to the macro world. In coming 8 sessions, we'll be learning about it. When I'm telling 8 sessions, this 8 sessions comprises of 2 hours each, but we are trying to split in 1 hour. So let's see how much this journey goes on. But the point is that the third thing is this world is not all in all. Beyond this, a paranormal or a spiritual world exists. The last thing is we are not all in all. Beyond us, God exists. So that is a unique specialty as humans. What is special about us as humans that we want to discuss today in today's setting? I'll try to share the screen while giving this fundamental understanding of our session today. I hope all of you are able to see the screen. We had covered it in a summary.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much. And the first session is Search for Happiness. There was a king who went to a monk, a sadhu, and he asked a very nice question. I have been serving in this kingdom as a king since long, but I want to experience what is real happiness. How can I experience real happiness in my life? That time, a sadhu, the monk replied him back. Um, Very nice question. What is the meaning of happiness or how to experience happiness? For that reason, you have to go to a garden. You have a kingdom, you have a big garden, so try to go into the garden and try to catch a butterfly. And king came, taking the advice very seriously, and he came to that garden and started finding out a butterfly. He started finding a butterfly. He had wanted to catch it, but moment this uh, king was trying to catch a butterfly, because as royal order, they never go into the ground, they never go and touch any grass, or they don't pluck any plant unless and otherwise there is some ritual or some ceremony, something like that is required. This is the first time he was walking on a bare ground and trying to find a butterfly. So every time he was trying his best to catch the butterfly is flying away from him. And he tried his best. Hours went. It was sunrise. It became noon time. He was tired and he was sitting under a tree. Then after some time, because butterfly is trying to hover around different flowers, because you're sitting in at a tree where there were a lot of fragrant flowers around. So after drinking the honey from such a flower, the butterfly came and landed on his shoulder. It was sitting here, and at that moment the king turned and was trying to see the butterfly, and he was thinking, I was trying my best to catch the butterfly and it was running away, but his butterfly is trying to come and sit on me. And he could see the beauty of the butterfly from the close eyes. The same thing we can see. Then he came back to the sadhu and he explained his experience with the butterfly. And when he explained this experience with the butterfly, the sadhu replied, happiness is like that. The more you run behind to catch happiness, it runs away from you. But once you sit down calmly and try to observe carefully things around, then it comes to you. So just to start with a wonderful story regarding happiness. So this is a screen of butterfly. But however special, when you speak about happiness, as humans, what is our speciality? Everybody is searching for happiness. And as I told, uh, the whole living entities, there are 84 lakh species according to Vedic literature on this globe or in this universe. But as humans, how are we special? So there are some unique things, there are some differences. When you speak about uniqueness, uh, we also eat and they also eat. And there are many things which are similar, but there are some differences also. So let's see in today's session, we are going to cover on this common features and differences, relative problems and real problems, how to achieve real happiness, and what is the permanent solution for it. So when we see different t-shirts, we can classify varieties of t-shirts available in the categories. And similarly, when we see people who are coming, different people, we can classify based on we can classify based on their forms, their features. Surely, externally saying, based on their body, there's a lot of difference. But they have come for one thing. They have come for a university admission. So that is one thing in common in them. Similarly, there are different train tickets available in categories. The train is same, but there is a sleeper class, there is general class, there is a 2A, there is a 3A. But train is going to take you to journey. Similarly, there's different category seats in an aeroplane. Similarly, as living beings, surely we have been gifted different bodies on this earth planet. So there are some differences, but there are some common things. So classify the living beings around us in categories. So if you see carefully, so much of variety exists around. There are people who are tribesmen, there is tiger, there's leopard, there is peacock, there is a reptile, there's a kangaroo, there's a cat, there's an elephant, there's a man, there's a woman. So humans and animals. If we have more than one category, what does it indicates? There is similarity and there is a difference. So if you make a brainstorm, again yesterday we had a detailed discussion about this thing. What is the similarity amongst humans and animals? One thing is common. If you see biological needs, most of the things are common. So as you also made it a point, even animals and other living beings are much more symbiotic factor related dependence on the nature than the humans. So biologically, many similarities are there. To some degree, yeah, there might be some differences in terms of interest and other things, in terms of eating habits and other things. But what is that similarity? So Hitopadesh tells very clearly what is that similarity between humans and animals. Broad category can be classified. Before I go to the statement, if you see, if you can make a look and you can do a survey of the advertisement boardings when you go out of your home. I think since last 6, 7, 8 months, COVID has been there. So most of us have been in lockdown. But once it started, so many of my friends, relatives, and connected devotees congregation, they started going to different places. So when you go out for a ceremony or for a outing, when we go on highways, we can see so many hoardings on the highway, and that highway can indicate to us one thing. If you see, start comparing the hoardings, there is some hoarding inspiring us. If do you have it in you? Especially I'm in Pune. We have a temple in camp, and most of the time the hoardings are based on defense. Do you have it in you? Join Indian Army, join Indian Navy. Or there will be some advertisement regarding Dunlop pillow mattress, a very soft bed or a pillow, and there will be some hoarding regarding uh, a nice ice cream or Reliance Fresh, or can be of different categories of food items available in the market. And sometimes there is some hoarding related to relationship, attraction between man and woman, and other things. Such hoardings are also rarely seen, especially movies, especially cinema theaters, their hoardings. So if you see categorize this type of hoardings, it can be broadly categorized into four things. One is about defending, army, advertisement, other things, defense. One thing can be of sleeping, related to beddings and pillows. One thing can be regarding to eating, on which you sustain. Last thing can be compared to the enjoyment based on the relationship, is attraction for the opposite sex, is mating. Similarly, if you see the tax which is collected by the Indian government, if you see 50% of the tax is utilized in defense. Recently, there was a big war on China border, which was triggered 6 months back in May. There were some Chinese armies who had just trespassed the LAC. They crossed the LOC and they came to the LAC line of actual control. and there was a big fight between the Indian soldiers who were less in number and Chinese soldiers. And after that, there was Rafale, which was ordered by the Indian government, 37 Rafales, compared to the one of the model of Chinese. I'm forgetting the name. And everything was so much advertised in all of the TV channels. So one aircraft, because I come from a background of aerospace engineering, I can understand one aircraft can cost more than crores, 100 crores is spent on one aircraft, one fighter plane. So can you imagine Indian government has bought uh, so many things, 37 Rafales. So you can understand annual economy of the Indian government just on having a defense. And similarly, so much 50% is spent on defense, army, navy, and air, uh, yeah, air force. And remaining some percent is put on R&D for eating food products. And some of the R&D is done on how we can make nice soaps. Like one of our dear friend was working in DRDO in Mumbai, and his project was how to increase. Yes, someone is raising hand. Yeah, someone want to say something. One of the thing of our discussion here will be that whatever queries and other things, we'll try to take it at the end of the session, and we'll try to, and we're having 1 hour sitting today, so just cover quickly and then come back to the, if questions, somebody has any questions. So his research in DRDO was, after applying the soap on the body, how to elongate the bubble, length of the bubble, the longevity, endurance of the bubble should be in touch with the body before it falls down. So that was his research. So that can be something which can be uh, enjoyment which we can give to the body. So therefore, most of the advertisement we can see a very beautiful girl or a very beautiful man trying to look like a model and trying to represent on that product. So that is one thing. Third part, you can enjoy enjoyment. The last part is defense, eating, and sleeping. Yeah, there's so much of advertisement. There's so much of R&D done on magnetic beds, floating beds, soft beds, and other things. So therefore, there is a shloka, wonderful shloka from Hitopdesh, which says that Ahara Nidra Bhayamaitanam cha Samanyetat Pashubir Naranam Dharmo Hitesho Adhiko Vishesha Dharme Nahina Pashubi Samana. So therefore, our enjoyment can be categorized broadly into four parts. That is ahara, eating. It's not just represent just eating. It can be represent. It can represent all the things being centered around eating epicenter. Nidra, sleep, a sound rest. It doesn't mean just sleeping. It can be even a rest when we work in between. For some time, we take a nap or we just lie down. That can represent that nidra. Bhaya, the defense. Defense means okay, we are trying to do some business. We are trying to work in a company. We have many colleagues with us who are trying to have a cutthroat competition and go ahead of us. That is called as defense. Bhaya and Maithun. Maithun doesn't mean just coming together as man and woman and trying to produce some children. It can represent any kind of relationship between a man and woman, which are categorized a lot of 8 categories. There's a different section on it. So that is called Maithun. So these common things are commonly seen among animals and humans. Saman etat pashubir naranam. Pashu matlab animals and naranam matlab human beings. So what is speciality? Dharmo hitesho adhiko vishesha. As humans, what is the speciality? What is the uniqueness compared to the animals? Biologically, many things are same. But when we come to the paranormal activities, spiritual activities, there is one thing called as Dharmo Hiteshu Adhiko Vishesha. There is one speciality. What is that? We can inquire. We can inquire beyond business. We can inquire beyond money. We can inquire beyond beauty. We can inquire beyond defense. We can inquire beyond sleep. We can inquire questions like, can I stay forever? Can I become happy forever? We can inquire about the eternal happiness. We can inquire about how can we reduce the miseries? What are actual miseries? What are actual real problems? The problems of employment, the problems of defense, the problems of sleeping and eating, everything can be solved at some point of time. But the real problems, which as sure they come to us. So dharme nahi na pashubi samana. When we don't answer these things. So Hitopadesh says that biologically we are same, but if you don't inquire in this direction, because inquiry is made by a cat. When you open a door, A cat comes into a room and starts drinking milk. So it knows what is surgical strike when mother is coming outside. So how to come inside and make a surgical strike in such a way that I can drink complete milk and go back. So it's not that only our Indian government knows how to make a surgical strike, but every animal is just waiting for its maintenance. How can I get? But what is the difference between surgical strike of Indian Army and that of a cat? One is trying to get some milk, another is trying to save one's country. So if you see, okay, so sometimes, therefore there is not much difference. So what is that speciality? Dharme nahi na pashubi samana. But inquiry into life, soul, death, that makes it special. And therefore, sleeping, eating, enjoyment, and defend. This can be made as seed. S for sleeping, E for eating, E for enjoyment and defense. Ahara, nidra, ahara, निद्रा आहार मौज मस्ती करना और दूसरों को मारना. So there are common things between animals and humans. Sleeping. Sometimes when you sleep and जब हम सोते हैं और सुबह उठना चाहते हैं, when you want to get up in the morning, when alarm rings for the first time, my lord, unknowingly our hand goes to the alarm and we just snatch it and want to just close it down. There are a few amazing clocks and sometimes alarm clocks are not there. कभी-कभी हम अपने पास alarm clock नहीं रहता है, फिर अपने आप हम उठ जाते हैं. कभी 3 बजे उठ जाते हैं, कभी 4 बजे उठ जाते हैं, कभी 5 बजे उठ जाते हैं अपने आप. So that is one of the thing. So what is common things about humans and animals? We saw it at stretch, defense. So as humans we can reason. मनुष्य होने के बाद हम लोग प्रश्न कर सकते हैं, सोच सकते हैं, लॉजिकली वी कैन थिंक इन द डायरेक्शन. एंड ये सब पशुओं में भी रह सकता है. जैसे मैंने बताया सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक बिल्ली भी करती है, सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक कुछ कुत्ते भी करते हैं जब उनको खाना चाहिए. Then how are you special? So Srila Prabhupada, founder and chair of ISKCON, he made a big question to some of the scientists who had come to meet him. बहुत कुछ वैज्ञानिक आए थे श्रील प्रभुपाद से मिलने के लिए और उन्होंने बताया. तो प्रभुपाद ने बताया आपके पास इतना बड़ा MIT है, मैसाचुसेट्स इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी, तो किस लिए आपने इतना बड़ा इमारत यहाँ पे खड़ा किया है? So what is the reason you have erected such a big building and what you are teaching people here? So the main dean came to the Prabhupada and replied, जो वहाँ के अध्यक्ष थे वो आए वहाँ पे और प्रभुपाद को समझाया उन्होंने कि हम लोग यहाँ पे कैसे घास उगता है, मतलब छोटे डे 1 से, पहले दिन से 1 महीने तक कैसे घास उगता है, उसके ऊपर पूरा ये लाइब्रेरी है. घास एक दिन में कैसा होता है, 2 दिन में कैसा होता है, सेकंड डे, थर्ड डे, फोर्थ डे, फिफ्थ डे. और प्रभुपाद replied to them back, whether you make research whether grass grows, whether you make research or you don't make research, grass will grow, it will dry, it will shed off in summer. But what research has to be made in which direction? Reasoning, questioning, thinking, logical intelligence has to be used in which direction? It should be utilized in for A, ability for higher inquiry beyond biological needs, and B, for bliss, the enjoyment which is not interrupted. सुख जो कभी खुशी कभी गम नहीं रहता है लेकिन निरंतर सुख. और चॉइस, जब हमको सही या गलत हमको पता होता है तो कौन सा चॉइस करना चाहिए, बिकॉज our life starts with dot B, that is birth, and it ends with death. But here it is determination. In between birth, if you want to draw the segment of our life, it can be a segment BD, B to D. But B or D, after taking birth and before we die, the altitude to which our life can take us depends on C. In between them, there is C, that's called choice. So what choices we make, based on that our future depends. And the D is determination. So as humans, even animals can reason, think logically, and do everything for eating, sleeping, and mating and defending. That is sleeping, enjoyment, eating, and defense. But as humans, our special abilities in ability for higher inquiry, ability for trying to get bliss, ability to make right choices, and determination to make all of this ABC together. Ability for higher inquiry. So human life, inquiry promoted to higher life, and no inquiry back to animal life. Again, we are going to see in the coming sessions. Right now, I'll not be able to understand it. Bli for bliss. There is Parthiva Ras. What is Parthiva refers to? The bodily senses. For all the senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. The ability to enjoy them. And we are getting all resources to enjoy all the senses for unlimited time. That is called as Parthivirus. Amount of pleasure if all our senses are perfect and you have unlimited resources to enjoy your senses. But that is bodily sense enjoyment. Much more than that, many times you say people trying to do some karma kanda, yajna. Sometimes somebody dies, people say swargvas ho gaya, vaikunthavas ho gaya. So the swargीय रस is, अगर हमको जो भूमंडल में जो रस मिलता है उसको 1000 गुना उसको मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, उसको बोलते हैं स्वर्गीय रस. इसलिए हम देखते हैं कि बहुत बार सब लोग कर्मकांड करके क्यों स्वर्ग जाना चाहते हैं. बहुत बार हम सुनते हैं कि यज्ञ करना चाहिए. सब लोग बोलते हैं क्या स्वर्ग जाना चाहिए क्योंकि वहाँ पे बहुत कुछ मौज मस्ती है जो हम लोग यहाँ पे नहीं कर पाते. Sanctioned way, licensed way. So that is called as स्वर्गीय रस. And then there is Brahman ras. So when we get rid of it, sense gratification, then we want liberation. We want to become 0, 0. You might have heard this thing called as silence. Try to meditate on the silence. Try to get in touch with yourself. Try to go deep inside. Have a deep breath and inhale and then exhale and try to get in touch with something. So something called as, in Sanskrit, it's called as Brahman realization or Brahmavad. That is 10,000 times much more than Swargya ras. And at last, when we come to bhakti process, the bhakti ras, where everything is done by a jivatma, a human being, but center is not himself, center is God. So that is in front of that bhakti ras, the Brahman ras is a drop in front of that bhakti ras. So this is bliss and that potential we have as humans. And in very rare cases, that potential can out of the box. Sometimes if you see in cinemas, most of the cinemas there is acting done by the human beings. But there are some cinemas like I know the Hindi translation. And 15 years back there was a movie which had come, which was translated into Hindi, and the name of that movie was Ek Bandar Hotel Ke Andar. So sometimes some animals are also made as a star heroes or some criminals, something like that. So similarly, the same thing is applicable to bhakti also. It's not only human beings can get benefit from bhakti, but sometimes rare opportunities like in Ram Leela, a squirrel was trying to take a dust and trying to fill in the Ram Setu. It got benefited. It got 3 fingers of Lord Ram on its back. That's called as Ram Tilakam. It got. Similarly, Hanumanji, he got an opportunity to serve Lord Ram. And the similar Jatayu got an opportunity to serve Ram. So therefore, not only humans can practice bhakti ras, in rare opportunities and Lord wants, even animals can take part into. That is the power of bhakti ras. That is a bliss. And choices. Animal generally acts by instinct, but action is there and immediately response is there. We react. When there is act, then there is action, there is reaction. But we as humans, animals have no freedom, no choice. But as human beings, we have freedom to choose when some action happens, whether to respond or to react. And most of the emotional relationship issues which we face today nowadays, it's all because when somebody acts in a particular way, rather than responding, we can't start reacting without knowing the background behind. But if as humans, we can act by choice. So humans have the power to choose the response. And D is determination to do A, B, C. That is determined to inquire about absolute inquiry, get that bliss, and make a right choice in our life. In that way, we as humans are very, very special. So common things is sleeping, eating, enjoying, and defense. But the potentials are A, B, C, D. That is determination to follow the choices, right choices, to get the highest bliss, and to make the right inquiry, absolute inquiry. And if we don't explore this potential, then we are simply a well-dressed, sophisticated, polished, two-legged humans in an animalistic thought process. And this is what this photo is showing. Because why? Prabhupada, I was saying an analogy. Prabhupada asked again in that MIT, after he came back, there was a next news reporter advertisement, there was an interview of the news reporter. So Prabhupada was saying, the reporter asked, so Prabhupada, how do you feel about our US? How you feel our culture is? There's so much of advancement. We have lifts which can take us to 10th floor, 100th floor within seconds. We have so many big Lamborghini cars. We have so much of advancement of civilization here. And Prabhupada replied back, a dog can run on 4 legs and we can go on 4 wheels. But the purpose of the dog running on 4 legs is simply to sleep, eat, enjoy, and defend. And we as humans is also the same thing, the purpose. So what's the difference? It's common. And yesterday also was trying to tell, Krishna could have told to Arjuna in one line, fight the war. But what's the reason for him to tell the whole Bhagavad Gita 700 verses? The only reason he told that, भगवान कह सकते थे अर्जुन को एक ही श्लोक में युद्धस्व गत ज्वरः, लेकिन इतने 700 श्लोक बोलने की जरूरत क्या था? क्योंकि किस एटीट्यूड में उनको लड़ना है, उसके लिए उन्होंने उनको कर्म योग, ज्ञान योग, ध्यान योग, भक्ति योग, अष्टांग योग के बारे में उनको बताया उन्होंने. बिकॉज accomplishment, along with accomplishment, attitude matters a lot. That therefore there's something called as preyas and there's something called as shreyas. In fact, man becomes worse than animalistic. Like you have seen, bring out the beast in you, or when there is a quarrel happening, people say you are trying to bring a beast in me. That is it. When we don't respond, when we react to situation, we become animalistic. And that is the reason why you can see most of the time why we don't find peace. The United Nations is erecting so many of flags, but when we want to go from one country to another country, like when one dog goes from one place to another place, the other street dog starts barking. So similarly, when you go from one country to other country, the custom people, they just start asking, where is your visa, where is your documents, where is this, where is that? So number of flags are increasing in UN, but what is happening? The enmity and animosity is so much of increasing, because rather than focusing on A, B, C, D, we are trying to focus more on C, S, E, E, D, that is sleeping, eating, enjoying, and defending. So human being becomes more miserable than animals. But animals, because that is natural for them to do that thing, because they can't do much more than that. So therefore, when humans start doing it, what happens? It's like we are using a Mercedes Benz for plowing the field. So what will happen? The activity of flowing the field will never get fulfilled, and the Mercedes Benz on the first drive itself, within 1 feet itself, the whole mud gets into its tires, into its combustion engine, into its crankshaft, and the whole engine becomes smoky, and that's the end of the wonderful car. So therefore, similarly, human body is like a Mercedes Benz and animal body is like a tractor. So when we don't utilize it according to the manual for humanity, like we don't utilize Mercedes-Benz according to the traits given, applications given, according to the injunctions given in that manual, so what will happen is that we lose it. So there is sleeping pills, there is threats, scarcity, and then there is stress management, then we need addiction, then there is suicide. So why it is increasing? Human life versus animal life. This is what I have told. 1 minute, I'll just try to. So yeah, I was trying to find out this one. Animal. This is what this point we just discussed right now. So the first part we discovered now. So let's come to the second part. So our goal is happiness, but where the happiness is, what is the kind of happiness you're looking for? Permanent, not temporary, ever increasing, shared with loved ones, and there is a variety. So variety is the mother of enjoyment. Yes, do we want it? Yes, all of us want it. For example, when we ask a small child, when there's a birthday party, recently I had been called to one of a place, and there was a birthday party of a small child, and the father and mother had invited me for that party. And when the blowing of candle, generally we don't do it, because that is a something like there was nothing like blowing the candle, but there was a nice cake, through 3-4 varieties of cake, and the child was asked to cut a cake, and there's a cake with a plain normal cake stuff with covered with icing, sugar. There was another cake with a sandwich type in which the rasgulla material was put into it. On that there was ice cream put on it. The third cake with a plain bread cake along with a slice of strawberry. On that there was another slice of cream, and on that they had put ice cream and a big cherry. And there was a last cake with butterscotch ice cream put on it with the same material. And all of you can find out when that child was asked to cut a cake, which one it was trying to cut. fourth cake which was so attractive. So similarly, when you speak about variety, the same thing is given to you, but it is given in a very attractive way that makes a lot of difference. Variety is a mother of enjoyment. So we are looking for happiness which is permanent, which is ever increasing, which can be shared with loved ones, and which variety. But in the material happiness, we can see these characteristics are absent in the relative happiness. There are two types of happiness. So what are those? The relative happiness and the real happiness. So real happiness has these traits: permanent, ever increasing, shared with loved ones, and variety. And the relative happiness doesn't have these things. So how do we get them? Relative happiness by solving relative problems, real happiness by solving real problems. So that means this world is something like, like a software engineer keeps on debugging a program. When there is a problem, he just try to fix a problem, and then he gets a salary paid for it. That means from negative to zero, it is called as happiness. The solution for the problems can be called as mitigation of the misery is called as happiness. No, it's simply called as 0 0. It's simply called as neutral level. But from 0 0, if you can rise to something positive, that is called as real happiness. So when it comes to relative problem, one man's food is another man's poison. For example, when dentist goes a person has a toothache and he goes to a dentist. So for a patient, this toothache is a misery. But for a dentist, this toothache is happiness. I remember when I was 7th standard, and I had my holidays ending, and I was very disturbed. And the next day was my train back to my place where I was studying. It was somewhere in Karnataka, near Hubli. And when I was coming back from my native place to this place, and I was running quickly to catch this train, while jumping across a small pole, my leg got stuck up and had a fracture. It was a bandage. And for me, that fracture was like, my lord, the whole head was dizzying and reeling and everything. And my brother-in-law, my mother's brother, was trying to take me to the hospital there. And when he went to the doctor, he was surprised to see a Ganesh deity there in front of him, a photo of Ganesha. And he was worshipping him at that time in the evening Aarti. And then when the whole thing happened, and the person put an injection and then put a plaster and came back to me, and my brother and my mama, you can say brother-in-law, my mother's brother, he was telling me, oh, he had a nice time today because he worshipped Ganesh so nicely, he got a patient. And that's how that time I was thinking, my lord, for doctors, getting patients can be really profitable. So one man's food is another man's poison. For a dentist, person with a toothache is a happiness. But for a person with a toothache, that is misery for him. So therefore, it's a relative problem. A person who is in hill station, winter season is misery for him. But a person who stays in Mumbai, winter season is very luxury for him because Mumbai is such humid and such hot. For a person who's selling vegetable, rainy season becomes very difficult. He gets wet and everything becomes miserable. But for a person who's umbrella shop, rainy season is a boon. For a car owner, when he gets punctured, when he goes on a highway, the puncturing of the car tire is a misery. But for a mechanic, it's happiness. Therefore, sometimes when you go on highways, you have to be very careful when we're exiting from Pune in the south or in the north while going to Mumbai or Gujarat, while going to west to Karnataka. Many times when you get out of the whole city, many times mechanic shop people it's told, one has to be very watchful because sometimes they put something and throw on the highway so that just they can make up some money. Yeah, sometimes people are cautious and people tell like that, but you have to find out. But surely, whether they do it or not, for a car owner, it's misery when there is a problem in the car, but for a mechanic, it's happiness. Similarly, we have seen such relative problems a lot. It can be unemployment, it can be hunger, it can be thirst, it can be medicinal facilities. Many things are there. But irrespective of external environment in which we are in, a richest person to the smallest person, he has to undergo the real problem. So what is the definition of real problem? It is common to all. No one wants it. No one can avoid it. So what is that common to all? No one wants it. No one can avoid it. Surely, can you think of such problems? We had discussed it yesterday.
Yes,
Okay.
Guruji.
Yeah. Okay. So what else?
Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi.
Oh, I think here someone has answered it right on track. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. Are the real problems or relative problems? What are the real problems that we go through in life?
They are the
Death.
real problems.
Yes, yes, yes. Death. Death is a real problem. Disease is a real problem. Old age is a real problem. And birth is a real problem. So this is a real problem of life. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. So not only that, sometimes we want to focus on activity and our mind is not contributing. Like one of the student came to me and he was telling, whenever I go I'm alone, my mind is very disturbed. Sometimes when I go into crowd, I can't control my mind. My mind makes me act like an animal. Sometimes when we see many times people when they go to the local trains and other times people are so much uncontrolled, their hand goes in the wrong direction. Therefore, when a man is standing next to a woman and he wants to abuse her or want to do something to her, immediately gets a slap. So therefore, this is a problem arising from the mind. It can go from a slap to a backlog in a career study to imprisonment to suicide, because it's mind only which causes. So Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, mind can be best of our friend and mind can be best of our enemy. So we have to try to control the mind. But the misery arising from one's own mind is called as Adi Atma. Atma can refer to the mind, Atma can refer to the body, Atma can refer to the soul. So similarly, beside these four problems, there is misery arising from my own mind, that is myself, my body, and my mind, and miseries arising from other living entities like a mosquito bite or like a terrorist attack, like an explosion somewhere. This can be by the other living entities. They are trying to cause us miseries. That is called as Adi Bhauta. And there are miseries which are natural calamities. That is called as Adi Daiva. Daiva matlab natural calamities, and Adi matlab by instigated by them. That is called as natural calamities. So as humans, we are special, and we have common things compared to the animals and their differences. So that we have discussed. We have saw the relative problems and real problems. We are on to the last part, how to achieve real happiness and what is the permanent solution to all. Search for happiness. How to achieve real happiness. Uh, One of a person had a skin disease. So to eradicate that skin disease, he went to ointment shop and took a superficial solution and started applying it. After 1 week, the bump or that boil went off. But after 1 week again, the boil came from some other part. From the right side, it came to the left side. And from left side, it went to the left leg. And it went for months. Then one of his doctor was there in a family. Then he told him, my dear friend, I think you have to check out your blood. That was a permanent solution. And he went through a blood purification process. And then when he got that, then the whole boil eradicated from him. And he became very happy later on. So similarly, the problems of birth, death, old age, disease are the real problems. But neglecting them, we are trying to focus on relative problems of so many things in this world. And just solving the relative problems will not make us happy. We have to solve the real problems. And then the real happiness we can achieve in our life. So therefore, the modern world gives us painkillers so that we can just solve the relative problems and we don't have to bother about the real problems of life. And what are the painkillers? Medicine cures the disease from the root, like in this case, the blood purification. But when you a particular painkiller, that gives a superficial relief from the pain of the disease. The pain may the pain may go from there, but the disease maintains. But there is third combination when we get a painkiller along with bona fide medication, that is worth, because that does not only saves the pain for that time because it becomes unbearable. I remember when I got a fracture, it was so unbearable. I was getting a painkiller, and then the real medication was done. So their combination of painkiller along with the right medicine is worth it. So similarly nowadays there are so many self-help, so many mind therapies, so many things going on the mental level. People are trying to breathe the silence within you, do this, do that. This can compare to painkillers. Till the point we don't go to the root cause. What is the root cause? Real problems. So when real problems are addressed with real identification, taking this kind of therapies will really help us. But therapy in themselves will not help us in any way. it can help us for a temporary time. But as bump comes from this side to that side, again from there to leg, this kind of problems, issues, mental issues will keep on coming back again and again. So these are the advantages and these are the disadvantages, the side effects. No permanent cure can make disease worse. Scientific advancement in sense gratification, speculation, superficial religions. So what material advancement has made? We can go from one country to another country in 1 hour, but to go from our home to the airport takes more than 2 hours. That is spiritual advancement. That is what Prahlad Maharaj is telling to Narsingadev in Bhagavatam, that Maya Sukhaya. What is the meaning of material advancement? It appears that the whole world has come in our hand, karlo duniya mutti mein. But what happens is our own, to go from our own home to meet a near and dear one in the same city takes much more time. Flyover are increasing, the bridges are increasing, but flyovers are being called as crawlovers. But there's temporary relief, no permanent solution. In fact, it gives rise to further problem, that is material advancement. In 1990s, we had flat people and we had a big TV. In 2010, we have big people and we have flat TV. So these are the temporary solutions. Old age, white hair, use hair dry, wrinkles on face, use facelift, back pain, painkillers, breathless and death, use oxygen tubes. Huge information, quick communication, global connectivity, health issue, impersonal, positive thinking, all these things I told, neuro-linguistic programming, forum, you can win self-help books. Yeah, this is worth if it is done in coordination with the permanent solutions of life, like real problems. And superficial religions, which can give us religious channels where only jokes are cracked, nothing connected to parampara, religious rituals. Like I was saying yesterday, one person, when he went for reading, understanding Bhagavad Gita, he was seeing the teacher, he was trying to speak Bhagavad Gita, but at the end of the classes, he was trying to have different connection with different women, and we saw him, he was very much surprised, he was amazed. When he asked him a question, he was speaking such lofty philosophy on sitting on the chair, on the teacher's chair, but when off the chair, you are having such horrible connections. He told, as a student, you focus on what I speak, not on my acts. Then that is the time he left it. So that Acharya means yesterday we were saying, what is the qualification of someone who is trying to speak? He should follow it in his life, what he is trying to preach. So when George Harrison met Srila Prabhupada, how we can understand who is bona fide and who is not bona fide? And George Harrison, Prabhupada replied to George Harrison, who was a Beatles, one of the king of musician. He replied him, find out who is addicted to God 24/7 through his character, through his conduct, through his behavior. Then we can understand who is genuine and who is bona fide. So we have scientific advancement, which is like a speed without direction. It's like a scalar, so much of magnitude without direction. But what we need now, a need of today's hour, is vector. We need magnitude as well as direction. We need material advancement. It's not that we are denying material advancement. We are not denying anything of this world. We don't have any problem with material advancement. But what we are trying to tell is we should have guided missiles in guided man, not guided missiles in misguided man. So technology is not a problem. Resources are not a problem. Problem is, as humans, when we should upgrade ourselves as humans, not degrade ourselves as beasts. So what is the permanent solution? We are like a lost son of a millionaire father. If at all we get to know who our father is, we can become happy. So we have to revive our eternal relationship with that Father, God, to become truly happy. What is the permanent solution? Our desire to search for happiness in this place, in our life, in things around, is like trying to search happiness in a wrong place. If I lose any key in this room when I'm giving a session, and I go back inside the temple for darshan and I start searching a key there, this key there, how much I try, from which angle I try, from what direction I try, I learn to get that key. So similarly, we are trying to search for happiness, which is eternal, in a place which might be right or which might be wrong. So trying to search for eternal happiness in this place of material world. Let's see what Shri Krishna has to say based on Bhagavad Gita, because it's the basics of Bhagavad Gita session which we are trying to do. It's like trying to search for water in a desert. So in a desert, you can only see sand, Registan. In a eating place, Bhojanalaya, you can only eat food. In a place called as liquor shop, Madiralaya, you can only get liquor. And a place of study, you can be as a student and you can get knowledge to study. In a library, you can get a lot of books to study. Granthalaya, Vidyalaya, Madiralaya, and similarly, in a place, temple, you can get Devalaya, where Lord you can get. But for all of our information, Bhagavad Gita, some of the slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Shri Krishna says, this world is Dukkalayam and Ashashvatam. How much we try our best to find happiness in this world, we are going to face only sand, and it is temporary. We try to find happiness at some point of time, we have to leave this body. Therefore, it's temporary. Either the near and dear ones live or we ourselves live. So this is a pitiable condition of this life. So one of the noble thinker, one of the very richest person in US, he had his wife left very early, and he had a son. And his son had a very, very strange craving of visiting tribesmen, red Indians. And because he being very rich, richer than Walt Disney and all those stuff, he took a very big ship with helicopter on the ship. In some places where he landed from the helicopter and he wanted to interact with the red Indians, so he landed on a ship and took that ship through the Amazon, and he went to the red Indian place. When he went there, he was protected by a big number one alpha commandos of US security company, and there were 10, 15 of them with big machine guns. And when he went at one particular time with such bodyguards surrounded by such bodyguards, when he went to that forest, the red Indians caught him somehow and killed him. They were cannibals, and these bodyguards could not help him. And that time we can understand the miserable condition of that father. He had all the wealth, he had all the money, but he had only one dear son. He wanted to fulfill his dreams, and but the son, being surrounded by such powerful bodyguards, could not find any happiness. He had to die in misery. So therefore, we are trying to search happiness in the wrong place. There are relative problems and real problems. Real problems are birth, old age, descent, and death, and how to achieve real happiness. Trying to find out real solutions by trying to do ABCD, absolute inquiry, by trying to search for bliss, by trying to make right choice, and trying to utilize determination to do A and B and C properly. And what is the permanent solution? By reviving our relationship with Supreme Lord. That is a real solution. And therefore, we have discussed so much about this concept called as reviving our relationship with the Supreme Lord in the session. So in yesterday's sitting also we saw, like, if you want to find any knowledge about spirituality, then we have to get redirected to people who have some knowledge in that direction. We have to find out a bona fide institution from where we can get that knowledge. And therefore, in our session from yesterday's, we could see the synopsis of what we're going to go cover in the next 9 days. Today, we touched the first part of some part of Prakriti, some part of Purusha, and some part of Jivatma, the happiness which the Jivatma is trying to find out, the help that the Ishwar can give him, and the interaction of Jivatma and Ishwar in this place, how it is, can that happiness be achieved with from us, what should be our goal, the temporary relief from suffering, which we coin it as happiness, are actually trying to find a bliss. And yes, and that is our journey of self-discovery, which will be continuing in tomorrow's sitting. And in fact, when I do the session, we have a lot of videos which I wanted to show, but I have some time now. I'll try to show one small video to you, which speaks about how we are trying to find happiness, but happiness is nowhere in picture. It's not when I speak about Dukkale Mo Shashwati means there is no happiness in this material world, in this world where we are staying in. There is surely happiness, but that happiness is temporary. I'll just share the screen. Because we are on Zoom, there will be some delay. But yeah, this is a very small comic type of video which can try to show. It's a small piglet trying to find a cookie on the fridge and trying to do its best to get that cookies. And let's see what happens to its journey of the cookies. So we can see from this wonderful video, finally it tried its best. It brought aeroplane, it bought nice cycling pad. It tried to bought a missile with it to get that cookies. Finally, it got a cookies, but the whole bottle toppled on his head and it could not hit it. So that is our condition. We may get everything at the end of the day, but like Alexander the Great, when he left his body, when he was leaving the body, he had a request to his followers: when I leave my body, when you cover my dead body, you try to keep my hands outside, trying to tell that, you know, there is a song which I heard before coming to Krishna consciousness: Kali Hath aaye the, hum Kali Hath jayenge. So that is what material. This place is like that. So we should not get. This session is not to instigate a negative thinking in us. It's not to show a negative thought process, but rather than that, to become realistic, to accept it. Some of the process when people go through different processes of mental health issues, and when they go to depression, when they want to come out. Right now there have been COVID since last 6-7 months, and people are going through different stress, different mental issues and other things, is that they're asked them to accept that fact. So therefore this is a fact. What is a fact? This place is temporary, and this is filled with misery. There's so much misery around. But the true fact, Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna saying Bhagavad Gita, is yes, there is bliss, but that bliss is beyond this body. That bliss is beyond this mind. That bliss is beyond this intelligence, beyond this ego. That is in soul. That is in connection of the soul with the super soul. And please do join with us for the next journey. We have just touched this topic of Jiva, Prakriti, and Ishvara. And tomorrow's session we are going to focus on Ishvara and the Purusha from Bhagavad Gita. And as we go on ahead, we'll be continuing with this session day by day. So tomorrow we'll be trying to have it at the same time at around 6:45 to 7:45. Hope this 1 hour time is good enough. And if you have any questions right now, you can answer. If you're unable to answer right now, we have this WhatsApp group where you can post your questions. And based on yesterday's session and today's session, which we had discussion, we'll be trying out sending you some handouts, and we'll be sending out some questions, by answering which it will be very helpful to all of you. Hope we do meet again tomorrow. If you have any queries, you can ask some queries for today's sitting. Otherwise, we'll stop now. Okay, I think it's almost 7:45 and it's been a little late. Yeah, videos, we have videos will be sent in WhatsApp. There are many videos, 4 or 5 videos, which I personally show when it is a physical program. But I think we can end right now if you don't have any queries. If you have any queries, you can ask now. You can ask it tomorrow between session also. You can ask it in our WhatsApp group also. Okay, so then it's a continuous journey. We have just finished the first session. Yesterday was the introduction. Hope to meet again all of you in tomorrow's session at the same time at 6:45. Hope you are okay with the timings. Or should it be a little bit preponed at 6 to 7, or it should be a little delayed at 7 to 8? Because all of you are the audience. Based on the poll, we can try to find out what is suitable time for all of you. Any inputs?